Yeah, I mean, both players definitely pulled out their A game in their last matches with Smart Nicole against FFR pulling a low 10-minute average in her 5 races with FFR, and then in skpeter's last match against Yume, he pulled a low 11-minute average, including a 9:29. So there's definitely room for something wild to happen here.
Yeah, and just like that, we had to wait a little while for the action to begin, but both players have readied up. The action has started, and we get to see the final boss of the game right now with Lakitu.
The final boss, the biggest troll, because he doesn't like to raise his stack at the beginning. So it usually requires more garbage. SK Peter throwing down like an X6 chain, and Smart throwing down looked like an X4 and X5. Still good enough with all the combos to get 20-second stages. That's pretty typical for this area of the game.
Now, there's something cool about this matchup that I'd like to point out, because their playstyles might be a little bit different, but these are two really technically skilled players. They have some pretty good cursor movement for their level of play, and I think it's maybe just overstepping sometimes that cost them some time in this run. I've seen Peter, he usually has like a couple cursor misswaps here and there, but both of them can definitely like pour on the chains if need be.
I mean, yeah, Peter just threw down an X8 on Bumpty here. Peter does seem to be a bit of a fan of making the bigger chains. Like he seems a little aware of the combos that you want to incorporate with your chains in order to build garbage more quickly, and that's something that Smart Nicole is a bit more in tune with, considering her Pokemon Puzzle League speedrunning experience. But yeah, both of these players do seem to have what it takes to get basically whatever chain they need in a given situation to top off all these opponents.
Yeah, we talked about Darkwing being one of the oldest competitors in here. I think Nicole is probably second, as she has some speed runs, or at least races of this game. I want to say late 2012. Well, Puzzle League, not Tetris Attack. Well, maybe Tetris Attack. I don't know. But she's had a lot of practice throughout the years here. And, you know, playing this game every so often after taking a break, it seems like she's able to dive in pretty easily. But she's hitting her first wall here with Wiggler, which is going to allow Peter to maybe get this nice 14-second kill, and we are tied.
Wow. Yeah, that is definitely a thing that can happen quite a bit in these races. Like the beginning is just full of lead swapping because all these stages tend to play out so similarly for all these competitors. Wow, 13 seconds from the goal there. Oh, Peter needed a bit bigger of a chain there. Everything else seemed fine, but that probably needed like an X6 chain or something in order to fully cover Froggy's stack.
Yeah, besides Wiggler there at the beginning for Nicole, she's been pretty hot with a lot of these sub-20 kills. It looks like she does elect to play pretty aggressive here at the beginning, but if she doesn't find that kill, there's the potential for that big troll to happen. It's not going to happen here on Blarg, though. A couple 4 combos lined up for him, but he wasn't able to get to either. 20-second kill for Nicole. She's going to be cruising to an even bigger lead now.
Yeah, I think she was a bit fortunate there because her opening chain was pretty good, but she only had like 2 rows of combo garbage with it. And I generally recommend 3 rows of combo garbage with an opening chain. Whoa, that was snazzy. That's snazzy. That was a very snazzy chain from Nicole there. Little bit of frame perfect swap shenanigans. and lag chains, building up chains much more quicker than the normal progression. Just a bit unfortunate, but she's definitely making some things work right now. Peter making some things work too, generally throwing out a whole bunch of the big chains. I'm not sure how many good combos are coming with those chains. That might be one of the bigger reasons why Peter is struggling in this one.
Yeah, luckily, as we've seen throughout the entirety of not group stage, bracket stage so far, our sets are best of 5, which helps eliminate a little bit of that RNG factor if it does end up biting someone and costing them a race, which is really cool. We only got to see this during the grand finals of the first tournament. I think it's very appropriate to see it now because, I mean, there are most of the time you can misplay, and that's the reason why you lost, but there are times in which we might see, hopefully we don't see in this match, but some opponents control you for quite a while.
Yeah, Lungfish and Raphael I find to be pretty bad because they don't know how to chain, but they're pretty fast, so they can clear out a lot of their stack really quickly. So I usually recommend bigger chains against both of them. At least Nicole got through. Now into the dreaded cave of wickedness. About 6 minutes in.
It's funny because this is always where the game's going to be stepping it up. Your opponent's going to be doing actual chains against you and putting pressure on you, inducing lag into the game and other various things to just slow you down. But depending on who is playing through the cave, a lot of competitors have found for this part of the run to be some of their most consistent. You can play a little bit more aggro and get quick kills, or your opponent just will not get any chain start and have a lot of panels on their screen. That was kind of the case of Hookbill there, though Nicole sent a lot of pressure to him, and he was just in stack lowering mode, so that's what ends up taking his life. And Nicole, 3 stages away, a pretty good lead right now. It would take a pretty big troll on her side in order for her to lose this game 1.
I mean, she was kind of the beneficiary of one of those trolls in her match with FFR last week. That was, I mean, she can't be no stranger to experiencing that. So she needs to be on her guard. And Piranha Plant's throwing down some trolley chains, chaining off the garbage. Like no matter how much they learn how to chain, they never learn how to do that. So that's just unfortunate. And yeah, that's the break. That's the break Peter needs. Can he capitalize?
Oh, 3rd tier on Naval's side gets the bottom clear as well. The pillar's still up at the right. It's not going to lead to a kill just yet. Oh, going to find the chain to buy some time. So, yeah, Piranha's going to have a lot of panels to work with. And this could be possibly even a lead change right now. It depends what Piranha does with these couple extra panels at the bottom.
Man, Peter didn't seem to have an idea how he was going to approach the very beginning of this Piranha Plant stage, but he cleaned up a little bit of it.
Naval with the 2nd, 3rd tier strat in that round, but ends up trying to go up to the very top afterward and didn't have enough time. Thank God, or else, man, that would have been all the garbage cleared, and that could have been maybe even 2 minutes plus on that stage. But Nicole gets past it, still with a lead, fortunately, here, and maybe Piranha gonna do the same things to Peter, opting to go for the clears, though, and oh no, wasn't topped off.
Oh no. Oh, Peter has not put up a good follow-up in this one. He's been behind on pressure the entire way. Oh, finally.
Ooh, Nicole using all her panels. She probably realized that Kamek didn't have anything lined up to send on her screen. But that is a little bit scary whenever you get into those situations, because these opponents can bust out pretty big chains to top you off, so you always got to be careful.
Yeah, it does get to a point where survival becomes the #1 goal, as opposed to doing what's needed to win. Like sometimes the best way to win these races is to not lose, a lot of time.
For sure. With that.
Uh-oh.
Oh, yeah. Peter answering back with this 21 second. And after Nicole got that beautiful combo follow up on Bowser, she's going to be a little bit ahead.
Ooh.
But we got a race right now.
Oh, Bowser's going in with a chain.
He used up a lot of his panels. He might have the blues lined up. Oh, he's going to have the purples too.
Oh, Peter doesn't know what he's doing here.
Well, he gets the slide. He probably didn't want that to happen.
Ooh,
Hopefully he finds this next chain coming, but he's still struggling. Nicole may be in a good spot here to take out Bowser. And there it is.
Oof. That looked like a 1041. That is definitely within her reasonable range in this bracket stage. That's kind of average for her, and that's basically what Peter's gonna have to deal with for this entire match. So he better be ready.
Yeah, which is probably a little bit of a good thing for him, because Nicole definitely has her fair share of like 9-minute times throughout the stage too. And I know Peter's gotten a couple, but it hasn't been too many in that range. So if he sees Nicole starting off with the time like this, he knows, all right, I just got to step up my game, be a little bit more consistent, because we saw definitely a lot of his chain starters were just like some drops here and there. And, you know, just one simple cleanup of it, and he could be getting in that 9-minute range himself.
Yeah, it does feel like a tale of two Peters at times, especially in his last match with Yume, because he started off really hot in that match with a 9:29, but his last 3 times in the match were all 11s. So little bit of Jekyll and Hyde there with Peter.
He might be able to finish off Bowser here. Bowser only going to have the 2 rows of panels.
Yeah, nothing there. Nothing there. Peter threw down a nice 9 combo to ensure it, and there we go. Peter's not too pleased with that time, I don't think, but we still have a lot of race left to go.
Yeah, for sure. And I guess the one thing to take from Peter's run is a lot of that time was ate up on Bowser at the end. Like, if he would have been able to get a quick kill Bowser, maybe would have even been enough to beat Nicole. I'm not too sure. That was 2 minutes plus. He would have needed like a 20-second or lower kill probably, but the potential is there for him. I'd say he made up a little bit of time going into the cave, so his cave overall minus Bowser was not too bad. That Kamek fight was pretty good. And
yes, it was.
Yeah, like I just mentioned a couple minutes ago, it's just the pressure that Peter is going to need to maintain at the beginning. You got to find those chains or implement a little bit more combos in what you're doing. So he's got to find that. He's got to find that perfect balance.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I couldn't tell if Peter was really starting all of his chains effectively with combos. That would be one way he could alleviate a bit of his issues with finding chains at the beginning, because the more combos you can find in your chains, the smaller the chains you need to make to top off your opponents, and it's much easier to find combos to start your chain as opposed to getting them in the middle.
For sure. And for anyone who's like having trouble like getting that combo implementation in their game, don't really overdo it. Something that I would recommend that's pretty easy to find most of the time. Try to get that 5 combo or larger starter right at the beginning of your chain, and then just mix in 1 4 combo if that's the minimum you do. Because 4 combos are pretty easy to find. You just got to slide in 1 more panel, and that gives you 2 extra lines already at the beginning. So that'll help you a little bit if you're having trouble.
Yeah, this is an exercise in stacking garbage, because these opponents are definitely slow enough to be susceptible to it. So as long as you are able to stack all the right garbage, you will be able to be able to do this thing. And apparently I missed what happened on Nicole's screen.
Yeah, I'm talking to her in race chat really quick. It looks like she said her game glitched out a little bit. What we're going to do is she's just going to restart this attempt here because we can just retime from the beginning. And I'm going to pause Peter's stream for Nicole to catch up anyways. So we'll get to see what it is basically virtually even after this point. So, yeah, we'll wait for that. It'll be kind of quiet right now. I have the volume mixer different. I don't want to play music while we're waiting, or else it'll be super loud. But we'll take a look as Nicole's trying to get back here.
Yeah. It's just I don't know. When you're trying to play on console like a Nicole is, you can't help but wonder if certain hardware related things will go wrong. I've certainly seen hardware related things go wrong. Like for instance, my SNES has a loose power port. The AC adapter port, I think, is just gone. So the wire's a bit loose back there, and it can definitely get knocked out of place easily. I hear it's a common thing with SNESes nowadays. So maybe something like that happened to her. Who knows? But one of the beautiful things about our little restreaming setup is that we're able to simply pause the streams as needed, and then that gives us the better ability to retime things for each runner, so we don't have to waste so much time finding out who's winning at any given point.
Yep, for sure. Whether it's like a console issue like that or timers starting late, we got the tools to sync it up and get ourselves back on track. And looks like the restart's not going to hinder Nicole too much right now. Very similar lead to what we saw at the beginning, but hopefully Wiggler doesn't troll Nicole as much as we saw in race number 1.
She did have to follow up with something here. I was gonna lose a couple seconds there. Okay, no, that's fine. She does appear to be maintaining a small lead here. So as far as we're concerned right now, no harm, no foul. Although Peter might be the one wishing he had do-over though.
Yeah, it was very interesting at the beginning of this fight. He dropped his garbage very, very quickly at the beginning, and there was a small chance for him to pull out like an incredible 11 or 12 second time, because Wiggler had this really tall pillar in the middle that was only 3 lines away from the top, but he was 1 line short, and Wiggler was like fiddling around with panels that weren't really doing anything. So I think it was possible there, and that could have been a huge time gain for him. But it's still the beginning of the run. He's got plenty of time to come back now, as the lead's only about 1 stage.
Yeah, I like you can see Nicole. She's definitely making a concerted effort to start with a combo. She got another combo during the chain. With those kinds of tactics, she's probably gonna need to make her chains a little bit bigger. This follow-up is probably good. It's a bit overkill, so it's gonna take a while for things to drop. This This looks to be a break that Peter could use to get back into this, especially with Blarg getting a chain off the garbage. That's just rude because these folks aren't supposed to know how to do that. Just lucking into all those chains.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, he had the chain drop from the garbage, then the 6 combo on top of that second 2 chain there. Gets the second tier clear at the end. Gonna end up extending it all the way to 49 seconds. So let's see what Peter can do here on Blarg.
What a waste. Oh, oh man, Peter's chain was not very good at all. Something you really hate to see because the beginning really is the most important. You really want to be able to build garbage when your opponent is not so preoccupied with clearing stuff. And I always worry when Peter raises a stack to the very, very top. I don't usually recommend that because if you don't have an immediate plan for what you're trying to clear up there, then you can easily get yourself killed. So it always makes me twitch just a little bit when Peter does that.
Yeah, that was super ballsy there. He needed to raise a stack, but he went super aggro there. Finds the clear, though. He's able to clean up that match because he was in a tough spot for a while, just having about like 4 to 5 rows of panels, and he just couldn't get any chains going. He's looking to make that up now. A very good start to this chain. Gets the 6. He's going to cut it off there, which should be good for the time being.
Yeah, only one combo, so the chain needed to be big. And it did the job there, but bigger chains make the screen shake a lot. You can't lose while the screen's shaking, so you really want to try and minimize, at the highest level, try to minimize the shaking on your opponent's screen whenever possible.
If anything, though, the name of the game is to always keep your opponent topped out, and that's what Peter did there. He brings it back, and now we have a relatively even game once again right before we head into the cave.
Oh, I wonder if Nicole will have a follow-up here to work against Raphael. He was a bit low. Almost a force kill possible there.
We still got the greens. Not enough time to get to it there, though. He had so many clears at the bottom, and he, like, used them all up. And Nicole taking it at 34. Peter with a second faster. Leads growing ever so smaller for Nicole. And the cave's going to determine this race.
As it usually does, and it looks like Nicole's pace was about a minute slower in this run than it was last run. So this may be Peter's best opportunity to get into this match. Throwing down the 7 chain though. I do wonder if that's overkill sometimes. But I guess if you don't have combos, you do need to throw down the big chains, and Peter hasn't been able to get too many combos in his chains so far.
Yeah, it looks like it's pretty necessary for him as he's still looking for a little bit of that follow-up, giving Nicole the time to take the lead here as she had like several different like chains and combos mixed in with hers. So heading into Naval once again here, if I'm correct, this is what gave Nicole a lot of trouble last race.
Definitely possible there. Peter finally getting through hook bills. This follow-up any good? Like, just needs to let it drop. I mean, that's one of the difficulties with trying to go fast in this game. If you start up another chain too quickly, then you will not have all of your garbage fall immediately. You gotta wait for that second chain to resolve before you get another one down. Oh, Nicole, please get lucky. There we go. Ooh. She had only been able to take one little peek at Piranha Plant's side. She would have seen that the stack was completely topped out. Might have been able to get the kill just a little bit sooner. Very fortunate that that they didn't get anything further from that. All right,
Second
39
tier,
seconds.
yeah, second tier delayed Peter just a little bit, but yeah, 39 seconds, pretty decent time there, and it's going to keep him within this race as Kamek and Bowser are probably going to be pretty big variances for one another. We saw Peter pull out that nice 20-second time against Kamek last run. Let's see if he's able to do so again, because this would be huge. A potential lead change and maybe tying up the series if he can get a good redemption on Bowser at the end.
All right, definitely a lot of combos in this chain for skpeter. Follow up looking nice too. He's gonna need it. He's definitely going to need this to work. Nicole looks to be well on her way to beating Bowser at this point. Oh, almost. Okay, let's see what Nicole does with Bowser. A little bit of a slow start. Definitely a bit of a slow start. Good thing Kamek doesn't know how to downstack properly.
Yeah, so once again, Peter coming in a little bit late here on Bowser. This is a little bit more favorable for Nicole this time around, though. But since she was dropping her chains left and right here at the beginning, this could be an opportunity for Peter. Because, look, Bowser is still not topped off right now.
Oh, this follow-up will do something. If it's gonna fall, no, there are no combos with it, so it's gonna be a while yet. Oh,
This could be close. Bowser's getting rid of a lot of his panels on his screen. Is he able to find this clear when he downstacks? Yes, he will. And the frame perfect kill of Nicole's in. Oh,
wow.
Man. You got to think if that was just a frame earlier, Peter maybe could have had an opportunity as he's looking to clean up this match at the end here. But because of that, Nicole's going to take this race number 2.
Oh man, that was a bit closer to what I was expecting to see throughout this match. Yeah, this was definitely one of our closer races that we've had in this bracket stage, like under 20 seconds apart. Can only hope that we continue to see some of this going forward. Although Peter is really running out of time to find a way to get his chain started better. Because, yeah, this is a best of 5. Smart is up 2-0. So one more and he will be eliminated, unfortunately.
Yeah, for sure. If Peter just picks up his game just the littlest bit here, he has a really good chance because Nicole has been very vulnerable so far this race with that high 10-minute time and now an 11-minute time. Peter looks like he's not going to have to compete with those 9-minute runs that Nicole can pull off. At least for the time being. Like, Nicole still has 3 more races to play around with if necessary. So, Peter's really got to be on top of his game, but that's like the little bit of a shining light in his favor. He's just got to make those little bit of improvements, and this could be a really good opportunity for him.
Yeah, during most of this tournament, Nicole has had the faster average by a good margin. She was averaging in the low 11 minutes in the group stage, whereas Peter was averaging a high 12. And in their bracket matches to this point, Nicole got a 10-13 average against FFR, and Peter got an 11:06 average against Yume. So I mean Nicole should be having the better luck of it overall, but I thought their times would be a bit more comparable in this round, and it's definitely starting that way.
For sure. It's a big lead for Nicole, but nevertheless, you could still make the comeback at this point. Peter's got to be on top of his chain game, and so far it looks pretty decent, but Lakitu just barely getting that clear at the end, and going to have
Oh
a
no, he's gonna get a
3-chain.
3-chain. Oh, come on.
He's still gonna have Lakitu
that's...
topped off,
wow.
which is good though.
Wow.
28 seconds. You'll take it for what was dealt to him, and he's going to have his first lead coming out of stage 1 right now. So maybe the tides can turn at this race. We'll have to see. Plenty more stages still left to be played.
I mean, Nicole did almost pull off the reverse 3-0 sweep against FFR Pro. Maybe she might become the victim of the reverse 3-0 herself. Especially if Peter's going to keep throwing down these big chains to compensate for his lack of combos. It seems like the only way he's able to get through these stages at the moment.
Yeah, sure. Sacrifice those really quick kills to get just those solid average sub 30-second times, which so far in the pace of these races is going to be enough to give you the victory, because we've been around that high 10 to 11 minute average so far. So if Peter can keep these chains up, which he fumbles it a little bit at the beginning here, but looks like this follow-up's going to be, oh, very nice rush there at the end. And oh, he gets the slide too. That's where Peter's technical skill is coming into play, man. He just pulled that 7-chain out barely in 21 seconds, man. I'm glad he got rewarded for that.
Oh, you certainly are a fan of the swag, and that's definitely those are definitely some of the swaggier moves that you can pull off in this game.
The only thing more swag than that is a mystery chain, which I hope neither one of these guys go for.
Oh, Peter would do it. He wouldn't do it he wouldn't do it in the name of getting a mystery chain, but he may feel like he may need a chain that big to win sometimes.
Raiko called me out on purpose, and he said, I will do mystery chains if you're commentating my match, just so you can get a reaction out of me.
Oh boy. All right. Let's see here.
Peter, he's just picked up his game like immensely right now, though. It's good to see this. Being down 2-0, it looks like it's not bothering him too much. As we've said in the panel attack community, he's won one of the bi-weeklies, and like 4 out of his 6 matches that he played went to last game. So Peter does have a clutch factor in him.
Oh, Peter, what are you thinking here? That stack is creeping upward. Oof. All right.
Meanwhile, Wiggler had those greens lined up, unfortunately, on Nicole's side. Able to troll the shake. Gonna grant just enough time for Wiggler to survive, and another chain followed in place. This is where you need the 2-game buffer on Nicole's screen, because I can definitely see the luck is pretty favored on one side right now. Peter's had some pretty favorable RNG with the like big chain blocks and the amount of shake, and his opponents have been dying relatively quickly. So, I mean, Nicole's still not out of it, but being up 2-0, if Peter does maintain this lead and keep going, it's still, you know, going to be a lead for Nicole, and she can just focus and try to win one of the next 2.
And yeah, we are starting to see a bit of a reversal from the first 2 races. Now Peter is starting to get off to the stage plus lead, almost maybe a 2-stage lead if he was able to get started on the right foot. All right, there we go. Oh, you know, there's actually a bit of an L or T-shaped 5 combo for a chain extension you can make there, and I almost never see anyone go for it because it never seems to fit anyone's vision. But there's definitely a way to extend some chains with a 5 combo that more people could be taking advantage of.
Ooh, just
Nice
enough
force kill.
time on lunge fishes for the 4 combo. But yeah, Nicole cleaning that up with a force kill. She's going to be making up a good amount of time. These separated pillars might lead to a kill. Oh, just enough time actually on lunge fish's screen to get it. But maybe not here. The clear buying some time once again. Oh, it's going to be close. The green's still over on the right, but Lunchfish finally falling at 1 minute. Peter was on pretty good pace. He still is compared to his other runs, but that was a pretty big hit to him because he was on like a PB pace as well.
Yeah, you hate to see the good pace runs into stuff like that. But you know what? You know what? Nicole hasn't made this one too easy on herself either. And yeah, Peter, you know what? Peter, just keep throwing down the big chains. You keep doing you.
Ooh, Nicole
Oh.
one line away from the force kill, and when the blocks raised up there, it resulted in a clear. But Lunchfish falls very shortly afterward. Still trying to claw back in this match, and Peter has that left pillar. Oh,
No.
the shake time. That's where it
Oh,
bites
man.
you, though. That's a prime example of it. If that chain would have been a little bit smaller, that probably could have been the kill here. But here's like the
Yeah, this
safety
looks.
net in this matchup. Wow, he goes for the 5 combo. But
Oh, these folks love the vertical combo clears. I don't know why.
if you do play safe like Peter did there, that's what he basically sacrifices with Raphael able to get that clear, but he doesn't really have any options afterwards, so most of the time it leads to a kill, even though that could have easily been a clear if Raphael didn't overextend for the 5 combo, but I don't know. The chains are good and bad, as you just saw.
But Peter did enter the cave about 20 seconds faster than his last run, so the big chains are doing something for him. If he can't find the extra combos, then he needs to make the extra chains.
Man, look at this. Raphael just giving Nicole a really tough time right now. Still plenty of panels, finding chains dropping from the garbage. And Nicole doesn't have Raphael topped off right now. Oh, this is a big momentum switch right here as Peter's going to be climbing to a really, really big lead right now. Nicole's still not in the cave. Peter only has 3 more stages left. We can see Peter take his first game in the series if it keeps it up like this.
Well, Forky has proven to be a commentator's curse in this tournament, so, well, rip Peter.
Hey, my luck has changed pretty recently. I did call the cards 3-0, dude.
Yeah, way to go out on a limb with that one.
Oh, man.
Oh, Piranha Plate doesn't know how to downstack, but Peter didn't have anything prepared to top him off. Maybe this little bit will help. Oh, eventually that should work.
Yeah, this might end up leading to a kill here. There's a bunch of clears giving Piranha options, though. I think this will do it,
Piranha's
though.
not doing anything, though. He has, like, no time left. No, absolutely not.
Meanwhile, Nicole getting to the cave herself finally was able to top off Raphael, but 2 minutes, man, that's a pretty big blow to your chances to come back, and we've seen that quite a bit in bracket stage. Raphael has got to be like the biggest troll.
Oh man, Nicole had one more line, and you could have had Hook Bill in like 16 seconds. Alright, Kamek, calm down.
Peter a little bit short there on the initial send, which is going to allow Nicole to get this 37-second time. Pretty good for her, though. Oh, very fortunate. Peters goes up for the second tier, and another 20-second time there on Peter for Kamek. So a very good lead for him. This is the biggest lead we've seen going into Bowser in the favor of Peter this time around. So as long as we don't see a potential 2-minute plus like we saw before, even then, he still has a chance to win this race. So Peter in a really good spot right now.
Oh, Okay, I figured something like I figured he's gonna intentionally break. I was gonna break there, but there's still something to be had here. Like you can recover with a good chain. Here he's got like next six here, next five. All right, yeah, this should still work.
It will definitely top off Bowser for a little bit here, and he's still looking to add more on as Bowser's in stack lowering mode now. Gets the blues to line up perfectly. Nicole only down by one stage now. Still needs a miracle at this point as the chains are still falling into place, so maybe. But Bowser's going to be using a great number of his panels right now, so this could be good for Peter. Nothing immediately. Oh, he goes up to second tier. This could be his death. Gets the yellows one last time, but he needs a chain here. It's not going to happen.
Oh.
Bowser goes down at 105.
There we go.
Peter getting his best time. He's progressing by like about 30 seconds each time. I wonder if he's able to keep up this trend.
He may need it, but yeah, that good stuff to Peter. Definitely much needed to keep his tournament hopes alive.
For sure, he has been playing better. As we saw, a lot of his starts were looking pretty good. Those first 6 stages, man, he was just cruising by all of the opponents. And now he has a pretty good shot because Nicole has been struggling so much this run, and her times have only been going down. So we've seen the reverse effect for both players right now.
Yeah, it seems like from my vantage point, Nicole has not been able to start all of her chains the way she wanted. Like she's definitely making a few combos with her chains, but she's not making her chains big enough for the combos that she's making. So I don't know if she needs to start employing a tactic of focusing on bigger chains to get going like Peter has. I mean, again, if you can't get all the combos you need to support a certain chain, then you definitely need to make bigger chains. And Peter is, if nothing else, showing off what that can do to some decent effect, keeping his times down overall from the looks of it.
For sure. Pretty smart here, getting some extra practice in for this 4th race right now. He's got time to do so, and why not take advantage of it? Some players will choose to just, like, cool off because, you know, races can get a little bit tense, but I know Peter likes to remain focused, and he'll take all the practice that he can get.
Wonder if Nicole started to employ my advice a little early. An X6 chain with quite a few combos on this Bowser. This Bowser will run into a bit of screen shake and then conversely run into a bit of trouble. Oh, come on. Chain the chain off the garbage. Get real, game.
Yeah, and the purples are going to be lined up just ever so perfectly there at the bottom. And look, another chain for you there, Cards.
This game sometimes, I swear. I mean, this game makes me swear sometimes. I mean, what?
Oh, another one.
Ooh.
What is this Bowser, dude?
Uh-oh. Down stack alert. Get the down stack alert. Oh, jeez. Man, yeah, Nicole cannot be feeling good right now after that one. She is definitely not pleased with herself with that 14-minute performance. Just like the best thing she can do for her own sake right now, which she is going to do, is just calm down, take a little bit of a break. she definitely got tilted by the end there, and she recognized it and decides that she needs to cool off a little bit. I mean, we do have another match co- coming up tonight, which some of you who may be tuning in live for that match and wondering why it's not happened just yet. Well, maybe we should have remembered to block off an hour and a half per match in this bracket stage, but it's fine.
Yeah, you can blame me for that one. Plus, we had some issues getting started here at the beginning, but it's all good. It'll happen eventually here, and we're getting close to wrapping this one up. Potentially 2 races at the most here, but it's funny a little bit what I mentioned here as Peter's like doing this practice. Since Peter won and has the momentum, he's keeping that going, keeping himself warm, and Nicole's opting to try to clear her mind right now. So hopefully that works out for both of them as we see like an entertaining race 4. But I want to say thanks to HH for Hooch for the tier 2 sub in the chat. 3 months in a row, dude. Always happy to see you here at Puzzle General. Thanks for the support, dude.
And you too can support the stream by going to twitch.tv/puzzlejournal/subscribe and drop that nice $4.99 sub for some good emotes along with some good fun to be had here. Like this match is starting to turn out to be about what I expected from this matchup. I can't wait to see how the rest of this goes.
Ooh, and we got Hooch gifting a sub to FFR Pro as well. Much thanks from you, man. FFR, enjoy your puzzle for salt, dude. Now you can spam all your friends if they get salty.
We certainly know our Pokemon Puzzle League in this community, and that is definitely that is probably the game that induces the most salt in the entire series. So yeah, Jigglypuff throwing out the salt is probably one of the best uses of your Twitch budget.
It's so appropriate,
Yeah.
and especially being like the game that started out this community as well, man. It's just so much salt to go around. Maybe we'll have some salt here at the end of this match as well. But here we go, game number 4. Peter with a very impressive game 3 to put himself on the board, looking for the reverse sweep. Let's see how they do. Peter's still on point with these chains, finishing it off with a 7 chain and a 6 combo. Make that an 8 chain, actually.
Oh, Nicole threw down a really big chain, a really good-looking chain, too. Looked like a nice little X4, with quite a few combos, but it was just one line short. Just very, very unfortunate. Bit of a variance of the game at play there.
So the inner part of me wants to point this out, even though it usually leads to me cursing someone, but each person who has come on top of Lakitu faster so far at the beginning of the series has won, which Peter managed to do once again. So we'll see if that happens, but I'll apologize ahead of time if that does not. And well, Nicole's gonna already erase that, so maybe a little bit of the curse striking early right now.
No, that's fine. That's perfectly consistent with the rest of the tournament. The first half of the run, especially, is full of lead changes with everyone getting generally getting very similar times every time. That's normal. You're not jinxing anything. You're not jinxing anything yet.
Yet. We'll see. I don't know if I managed to lose any more predictions, which I didn't make one before this match, actually, so there's no way for me to do that. But I'll have to end up shutting up for some broadcast, and we'll just have no commentary.
Man, I think my personal prediction before this matchup would have been like 3-1 for Nicole. Just my thought. Ooh. And then again, Peter throwing down some snazzy looking chains. Get the X8. My goodness. Certainly knows his stuff. Can he apply it in the Can he always apply it in the right places?
So still looks like he's carrying a little bit of that momentum from the second game. The important thing for him is he's still been on point with his chains, which have been working out for him so far. Not able to... Well, neither competitor are able to reach that 9-minute level right now, but because of that happening, it's not really necessary for you to do so. Like, it's definitely safe, but for this current round, it seems like, you know, the 10-minute time's just about going to do it for you. And Peter looking pretty good here on Froggy as well. Cleaning it up at 23 seconds.
Yeah, in a perfect world, you would like to see all the stages under 20 seconds. That usually means that your plan worked out to near perfection, but everything in the 20-second range is still really good. Ooh, little bit of premature breakage from Peter. He's definitely a bit slowed down after that little hiccup. That does happen to him on occasion.
He's going to use just about all of his panels. This might be a good enough follow-up here, but that chain's going to fall into place, giving Blarg just a little bit of time, and that's going to be one line short because of it. So just the smallest bit short here. He's got to find more pressure.
Oh no, Nicole almost had it.
Very similar on both screens. They both had like 4 panels left on each other and so close to kills. And now Nicole getting chains falling on her side.
No.
And it's going to lead to another clear.
No. Oh. Second tier. Jeez. Stop it, game. Or no, wait, no, keep going. We want game 5. Come on. Yeah, we might get game 5 if Peter is going to keep throwing out all of these big chains all the time. Lunchfish, no, what are you doing? Oh, come on. I mean, the extra chain doesn't really add that much stop time to his stack to keep himself alive, but it's just more infuriating than anything else.
This has been one of our closest races so far at the beginning here, because it's usually jumped out to like a solid 1-stage lead and kind of gotten closer towards the end, with the exception of that last race there. But Nicole's holding up her own right now, looking to finish Lunchfish a little bit behind Peter at this point. Yeah, because Lunchfish is still just down stacking and finding clears.
Oh, Nicole!
Oh no, that's pretty big at this point of the stage. 47 seconds invested into Lunchfish, already down by a full stage, and you got to repeat this fight as Peter's getting pretty close to being on the cave, but his initial sins weren't enough. And if Raphael's able to downstack here and find the blues, which happen to line up, alright, this could be a chance for Nicole to try to erase that death, but it's still got to hurt you mentally.
Yeah. Looks like Peter's gonna need another. Looks like Peter might need to send another big chain to follow up. Just reset. Just reset your mentality and just pretend it's the start of the match all over again. That's what I always say about these midpoints in the matchup when you are very short on pressure. Just pretend it's the beginning of the match and just make the chain you want to make it start again. All right, Peter got it done.
Yeah,
Thank
Peter.
goodness for that.
Peter heading to the cave, 1 minute and 24 seconds. He needed that death there, but he's looking good to take this second straight race. Shoutouts to Wiki in the chat. I was trying to curse him over a bit donation, but he put in 100 bits himself, so we appreciate that. Thanks for all the support today, guys.
Yeah, we definitely like to use that support to make other resources available for this channel and this community as a whole. We are most definitely grateful for every little bit of support.
And now we got several little bits coming in for the counter curse. We're gonna have an interesting match later with Cozy Pocket versus Wired Wiki coming up right after this, but man, this match has been heating up as well too. Now Peter going on a little bit longer with Hookbill, and Nicole has managed to make it onto the same stage in quite a bit right now, and as Hookbill's still continuing to find clears on Peter's end, this could potentially be dragged out more as he's not topped off. Nicole's chance to try to come back.
Yeah, Peter is not in a good way right now. He's building chains from garbage, which is really slow because Hookbill had him a bit cornered. But you know what? Peter manages to find a way.
117 again, 2 straight stages over 1 minute, but it's not hurting him too much though. Nicole's gonna knock off a huge chunk of that time, and we're getting closer and closer as this lead's just disappearing. Nicole with that loss, it's not phasing her too much right now though. She's gonna wish she did not die because she could be having a pretty good lead. Potentially, that is.
In before Bowser decides everything. You know what? Just throw out the X10 chain for good measure. Just because why not?
Peter going back to day one, dude. Just chain away and maybe it'll lead to a kill. And Piranha's not gonna have any panels, dude. It always works, dude. Always works.
Yeah. You can't get the combos and put in the chains, and Peter certainly knows how to do that.
Unfortunate on Nicole's end, Naval ended up getting a second tier there, which ended up for him not being topped off, but tries to lower those blues, not going to be able to do so. 40 seconds, Nicole still within range to possibly just take the victory here. We're getting so close to a potential game 5 though. Peter's got to be careful. He's got that tall left pillar though. The reds are going to be lined up pretty good for him to make it clear. But is that enough sent to Kamek to top him out? It is not. Oh, this could be big here. Nicole's got that 5 chain. She's going to start on a separate chain follow-up afterward. This is smart because Kamek had those 2 separated pillars. So going to elect to go for a clear here. And the garbage just now falls. Though that chain's going to be lined up, I think. Wow, that's pretty unlucky.
Oh, man.
Just because of that, maybe we'll give Kamek a little bit of time. It depends if Kamek gets the cursor to left. But, oh, I didn't see that chain falling in place. So definitely enough time now. Oh, it's so hard. I'm going back and forth between the screens. Kamek barely gets a clear on Peters as well, but is going to end up dying afterward. A chain falling in place on Nicole's end, but this might lead to a kill eventually.
Down stacking alert. Nope.
Force skill. All right, here we go. Peter now with the small advantage here. Whose Bowser is going to be nicer? Are we going to see Nicole take it? Or are we going to a game 5?
Oh, I can't wait.
Okay, Peter gets a 7 combo and a 2 chain. The 3 chain dropping off. Quick 2. Bowser raises his stack.
Oh!
Oh my goodness. You gotta be kidding me, dude.
Oh, yes!
Well,
the best things in this game often happen by accident.
Bowser wasn't feeling too well there. He just decided to end it all. And we're going to a game 5 because of it. Nicole looking like to have possibly a good Bowser as well. He's going to have no resources at the bottom unless there's like a 3rd tier to bail him out, which I don't see it.
No, he's not going to see it. No.
And ladies and gentlemen, what looked to possibly be a sweep at the beginning, Peter has brought it back. It is 2-2, game 5. This is going to be the first person eliminated from main bracket, so whew, a lot's on the line right now.
Oh man, it will be so sad to see either of these players go, because they both have given us quite a few moments in this tournament, especially in this main bracket. Both players have been clawing their way through. Oh my goodness, and yeah, Peter on the verge of doing what Nicole almost did to FFR Pro. I mean, both players have found ways to pull out some really fast times. Although there hasn't been anything under. Has there been anything under 10 minutes in this match?
No, it's been all above 10 minutes, dude. It's like
that's quite crazy. Because I mean, they both had a sub 10-minute time in their previous matches. In their last match,
and both with the very low 9-minute times in their PBs, man. Their PBs have just reflected how close the series has been, man, by a separation of 3 seconds apiece in that. Peter's late game momentum has carried him here to see this tied series, and man, it's gonna be hard for me to predict a winner, but if I had to pick one, I'll say whoever beats Lakitu first. Lakitu is the key for determining this, guys. But yeah, if you're Nicole, you know, you had that 2-0 lead, you can't really let that phase you. You just gotta calm down and get to where you were at the beginning of the series again, because her times were still good enough to beat what Peter has still been getting. And Peter, he needs to step up a little bit of the consistency, because he's had a little bit of rough stages here and there. Some quick kills in the cave stages to bail him out every run that it seems he's had. So
he will ultimately be better served by finding more combos in his chains, but he has been making bigger chains to compensate for that. So if he continues to do what he does, he can probably eke out a 10.5-minute time, though I wonder if that's going to be enough. I wonder if both players will be able to bring out their A game with their tournament life on the line here. Let's see what Game 5 reveals of these runners' character. And before both players PB, because why not?
That'd be cool. I would much welcome that, though. I don't know if my heart can take that. That would be insane. But yeah, wish the best for both of them. We've had nothing but great matches on display for you guys so far. And if you've been tuning in late or been expecting the match coming up afterward, we had a little bit of a late start, and this match has gone the distance. So as soon as this one is over, we're going to be bringing you Wired Wiki versus Cozy Pocket, another elimination match, and two titans of the game, you can say, duking it out. So stay tuned for that, and obviously watch the end of this Game 5. This is going to be great. Nicole versus Peter, game 5. Chat, who do you have in this match? Because I don't know. I'll pick someone, even though this might ruin it. But it's hard for me not to make predictions. It's just too much fun. Peter's got the momentum. I think he's able to pull this reverse 3-0. So let's get into it.
I still think this is Nicole's to lose. I still think her A game is too good.
Well, she's going to start with the bigger chain here at the beginning as Peter's still struggling to find something. Oh, wow. Dude. Super favorable on Peter's screen, and Nicole sent a lot of garbage. And I guess Peter finished a little bit faster, but not by much.
No, those are both really good. Lakitu is usually one of the bigger trolls in a run due to his not raising his stack initially at the start of the match, like most of the other competitors. But yeah, that's good to see something good like that come up.
Ooh, a couple frames away from death on Bumpty's side on Peter's. It's unfortunate he was able to get there. Now Nicole cleaning up very, very nicely here, 22 seconds. Peter's pressure has already been off at the beginning here, and that makes me a little bit worried for the rest of this race. Though it's hard to judge his entire gameplay based off the 2 stages, but he got a pretty big favor there from Lakitu at the beginning in order to get a sub-20 time. And now, because the pressure was a little bit small here, 42 seconds on Bumpty, putting him into a little bit of a hole.
Speaking of getting into a bit of a hole, Nicole's opening chain was a bit weak here, but the follow-up has been working a little bit. Little bit of time losses. Poochie with 2nd tier on Smart, but she's able to get through decently well. But you know what? Peter still throwing in the big chains, able to make up quite a bit of time.
That's exactly what we need to see from Peter here. Sometimes when you're going off those 2 games in a row, kind of like how we saw Nicole at the beginning here, you can, like, you know, let off the gas a little bit at the beginning, which maybe that's what Peter was doing at the beginning. You know, getting a little bit too overconfident, like, hey, I'm playing pretty well right now, I have a good chance to win. And then sometimes you just make those really early mistakes. But
oh man, that X8 chain though, okay. Peter definitely made a combo, basic combo to fill in that gap, but Peter continued his chain. That could have been a bit of a disaster for him, but. I mean, did get that to fall eventually, but Wiggler did not have any options, fortunately.
Yeah, very fortunate there. And he did have a little bit of good awareness there at the end and tried to send that quick 2 chain. That was a little bit slow, so I guess he got rewarded for trying to do the good strategy at the end, and it could potentially lead to a pretty solid kill here on Froggy, as Nicole's already lost a bunch of time there with the 107 Wiggler. And yep, there it is, 27 seconds for Peter there on Froggy. And so he's going to be pulling out to a pretty comfortable lead here. Let's see what Nicole's got. I think she's opting for bigger chains. She's going to purposely cut it off here, but she's got a really good setup afterward here. It's a really hard call to determine when to cut off your chain or not, but if you're as quick as she is when starting up that next follow-up, it's looking good, because now look, she got rid of a lot of the shake that's on the screen, and I think Froggy's, oh, he's not going to be topped off right now. Oh, yeah, a little bit delayed on that garbage send at the end. She could have dropped that off a little bit quicker, but 34 seconds regardless, not too bad, but she's going to need quicker stages, because Peter's about besting her on every stage so far.
We are seeing some contrasting styles here. We see Peter making bigger chains north of X6, which is usually not recommended if you're making a bunch of combos, but he's doing it to great success here in this one. Meanwhile, Nicole is making chains a little bit smaller in the X3, X4, X5 range, but when she's doing well, she's getting a bunch of those chains often. As you pointed out, Forky, it's minimizing the screen shake on these opponents, and it is leading to some decent kills in her own right.
Oh man, Nicole's just been playing a little bit too fast. I've seen her multiple times on this stage alone where her swaps have, she's just been like buffering them a little bit too quickly. So she has the chain or clear in place, and then she swaps a little bit too quickly afterward and just gets rid of it. And it's been costing her a lot of time in these past couple stages right now. Peter almost onto the cave and at a sub-6 pace at that. So Peter's got a really good run going, possibly the fastest time of this race so far. Nicole's really got to buckle down.
No, she's not starting all that great. I'm still a little worried.
Oh. Yeah, Peter, 40 seconds. He barely gets that sub-6 here if you're timing it by when Raphael immediately gets killed. Regardless, this is the best pace I believe we've seen going into Hookbill so far.
By about 45 seconds, I think so. So Peter is definitely pulling out something resembling his A game here.
Nicole trying to cut it back just a little bit here. Going to be moving on to Raphael. Down by not too much. But Peter's got a good amount here sent on Hookbill, who's going to go into stack lowering. The shake's going to give him time to find a clear, but no chains are lined up. You could think this is probably going to be a kill once this drops.
Solid.
Yeah, 31
No
seconds. Shame. Peter's still on a pretty good pace to hit that 9-minute range for the first time, and I'm telling you, Peter just has that clutch factor right now, and you got to think Nicole's just been... She's been trying her hardest. I can definitely tell there's fight in her game, but it's just like mistake after mistake right now. I'm definitely not counting her out, though, because this is Tetris Attack. I've seen some really crazy stuff. I think we had a match earlier in the tournament where 2 people were on Bowser, and both of them went for 2-minute plus.
It happens to everybody. Like, even our world record holder Yoshimitsu gets the occasional 3-minute Bowser, so still far too early, though. It's not looking great.
Oh, Peter, he is on point right now. His garbage sins have been beautiful. Nicole opting for a little bit bigger chains. Now this is an interesting late game strategy that might pay off. There's not going to be any immediate shake, though the purples are lined up. Not enough time, though. Okay, Nicole trying to claw back.
Oh, Peter's struggling to figure out how to start this chain.
Yeah, Peter, oh, okay, he gets the 2 chain with the 6, but nothing, he's just not finding a follow-up afterward. He's using up a lot of his panel clears at the beginning. Let's see if he can make something out of this start now. Oh, very nice conversion on the 5 combo.
Okay.
That was much needed on his part. It's probably not going to top off Kamek as he downstacks, but he has enough time to regroup here and find something as Kamek has plenty of time to clear the rest of this garbage out. And look at that, 16 seconds on Piranha. This is Nicole, dude. Nicole never gives up, and here's that late game rage in her. She's going to be bringing it back to the same stage as Peter right now in a little bit of a hole, but Peter does not have Kamek topped off. Let's see what Nicole can do.
What's
like we mentioned, it is Tetris Attack. Nothing is impossible, and Nicole on point. It looks like opting for these bigger chains are working, as Kamek has a super high stack right now.
Okay. Like that. This has a chance to work. Oh, don't stop. Kamek, stop that chaining, please.
Kamek going for cheers, has clears rather, has to go into stack lowering mode. Won't be enough time. No, Nicole takes the lead. Oh my, this is not what I expected here. Peter's still looking for the kill, and Kamek's finding clear after clear, so What a turnaround here on Kamek. The cave will determine all of these victories, man. And just like that, Nicole one stage away from trying to prevent this reverse 3-0.
Oh, it's not starting off great, but a bunch of little chains does have a chance to do something to Bowser. Oh, it's not. I don't think it's gonna be enough here, though.
Yeah, Bowser with the separated pillars, it wasn't going to do enough. The only good thing for Nicole here is Peter's still trying to top off Kamek here, going to find a chain that drops into place. And he's still struggling to get this kill. 2 minutes plus. This is going to bail out Nicole just a little bit here as Bowser has that tall left pillar. He's going to be able to get it down though. And he's not topped off himself. So Peter needs to find this kill, dude. That left pillar's his one chance. But 2 chains are falling into place there. Well, rather 1 chain with the 6 combo. Bowser going to work with a 6 chain on his side though. And Nicole, she's trying to find this follow-up, man. Peter's still short on garbage. No, man, this Kamek has been... Oh, dude, 3 minutes potentially now for him.
Oh,
you hate to see this because he was looking so good up until this point.
You know, Nicole's working on a minute and a half Bowser in her own right.
Yeah, and she has a little amount of panels, and I don't think she has enough sent to Bowser. Definitely not. So... Peter has a chance, but he needs to get this kill right now, dude.
Oh, Nicole's really not a good spot. She's just building chains through garbage. That's really slow.
It's slow, but it might work out for us. Peter, going on 3.5 minutes. There's the kill. Does Peter still have an opportunity to come back? I don't know. Bowser with the tall right stack. He's got to lower it. He has enough time. He's got to find a chain to extend this out. There it is.
He's making chains. He's making chains.
Okay, is this still possible for Peter? There's no way, dude.
Oh, you can't be serious right now.
Oh, another chain to extend time. The reds are lined up. He's not going to go for him, though. And he's still not topped off now. Peter, he's making a good chain here. Bowser, oh, he's gonna raise his stack. Nicole sent the follow-up. The purples are lined up now, though. The shock block could be an opportunity, though. Bowser's got to lower, and 1 frame too short. Nicole, 2.5 minute Bowser, but because of that long Kamek troll on Peter, I can't believe it, but Nicole takes this series. I did not expect that after the lead. Holy moly, guys.
Oh, that was not the way I thought she was going to take it, but wow, such grit. All I could say about that, just grit and determination, and man, of course the final race was going to come down to 15 seconds because of course this entire match was just crazy.
Oh my, dude, I think that's my favorite set, just because of the, like, 3.5 minute Kamek, the 2.5 minute Bowser, dude. I was just looking back and forth, seeing what was going to happen, and oh my god, that was so ridiculous. But yeah, GG's to both of them, man. We couldn't have asked for a better series, and it's unfortunate that Peter has to go out like this, but I think for him, like, this is one of his first big exposures to speedrunning. Just making it into main bracket, I'm sure he can be happy with that.
Peter definitely showed up for this tournament. Definitely nothing to be ashamed of for not being exposed to the speedrunning part of this game for so long. So, good job at both competitors. Like, wow.
For sure, and since we are in the elimination phase, we're going to try to get interviews going for a lot of them, though we're a little bit over time, so we're going to try to keep it brief. But I think we have both of them in here right now. Peter, if you can hear me, how's it going, man?
I'm here. I just have my mic off.
All right, sweet. We do have Nicole here. So I guess while we're waiting for Peter to respond, we'll talk to you first,
okay.
Nicole.
Okay, I need to know something first, though.
All right,
what was his Bowser?
His Bowser?
Last game.
His Bowser was 46 seconds. The Kamek was over 3 minutes.
3.5 minutes.
Holy shit. I am sorry, I didn't mean to swear.
Oh,
Holy poop.
no, you're fine. It was just crazy at the end because Peter had such a big lead until that Kamek. So, Nicole, what was in your mind? Game 5, your Bowser was going on 2 minutes. Did you think you were so close to losing, or just what were the emotions you were feeling?
Absolutely. Because the thing is, here's the deal, right? Can you guys hear me, by the way? I'm kind of a...
Yeah, you're
I know my mic is a little
loud
screwed.
and clear.
Okay, so here's the deal. I get to, you know, I get to caves around 7 minutes. I'm thinking, I have no chance. I have no chance. And then all of a sudden, I ring off these 3 really good Koopa, you know, naval whatever times. I'm like, okay, maybe I have a chance. Bowser's going. I keep glancing over at my screen. When is he gonna dot done? When is he gonna dot done? There's no way I'm winning this at this point. There's no way. This is what happened with Thomas. There's no way. I didn't even hit my timer. I literally just pressed the enter button on the dot done and was like, dodged a bullet. Oh yeah. Because that wasn't my A game. Honestly, I'm sure you guys could tell. That was, and nothing against Peter. He did fantastic, but it just, I was not on my game today. I just wasn't seeing the chains at the beginning. I wasn't, for whatever reason, I just wasn't able to see what was going on. And it was really frustrating because earlier in the day, I had a 9:13 and a 9:36 in practice. So it was like, everything just felt so slow.
Yeah, I definitely saw that game 5 was not great at the start for sure. So I had to figure, as Peter was making the comeback of comebacks, almost pulling off what you almost did to FFR Pro last week. Like, what were your thoughts going into that game 5?
I was actually more mad going into game 4 because at the beginning of game 2, all of a sudden I'm mashing and there's no screen. And it's like, there's no screen. And I'm like, oh God, I need to reset. And then it just seemed like I was just getting, like, my chains game 2 were relatively fine, I thought. But they just kept finding clears. And it's like when one happens on one stage, but when it happens in 2 stages, 3 stages, 4 stages, and then I just get wrecked in game 3, game 4, I'm like, okay, we got to buckle down now. And I started off decently enough, and then I kept falling off. You know, when I've been doing my practice runs, I've been used to getting to caves around 6 minutes, like 5:45, 6:15. So the fact that I kept getting there at 7 minutes was infuriating. And I'm just like, and I think after I had that, I can't remember if it was race 3 or race 4. After I had I think it was race 3, when I had the 2-minute Raven battle, I typed into chat, "Now's your chance," because I knew, I was like, there's no way I'm winning this race after that. So that was a crazy series. I came out on top, but I got lucky. Peter's a fantastic competitor. All props to him for showing up. He almost did it. So
yeah, for sure. Well, you stayed composed, Nicole, at the end, and even if there was some hiccups here and there, it was good enough to get you the win. So good stuff to you, and keep your head going forward, as you could potentially have another rematch. But I'm gonna get to Peter now, and it's basically the same question for you, except on Kamek, dude. That must have been one of the most frustrating fights for you, and were emotions running high for you as well during that part?
First off, I want to start by saying this game is stupid and I hate it.
Amen. That's how I feel today too.
I'm still trying to process this 3-minute Kamek. I'm sorry, but I
don't know.
just can't. I can't.
I don't know either.
Jesus Christ. Sorry guys, I am
certainly
mad
did
right now.
You certainly did really well in this tournament, Peter, especially for not really getting into the speedrunning until this tournament. I thought it was a really good showing from you.
I don't know what to tell you guys. I mean, I was even going to mention, Nicole, I'm sorry for not communicating at all during the race. I was just trying to focus 100% in the match because I
Absolutely.
was like, at the first 2 games, I was having this huge mental block, and I couldn't get my my chains working properly. So I was like, okay, let me just isolate 100% from the race, everything. I'm going to try to beat this game really fast. That's what I came here to do.
Yeah.
So,
No,
for
I understand.
somewhat, I ended up winning the next 2 races. And then I hit this massive brick wall. That was Kamek.
It's funny. That's kind of how I felt when I was against Thomas and I won games 3 or 4, and I think my brick wall was on Lava Guy Blarg. Like I was doing well. I got to Blarg, and all of a sudden I'm like, I can't see anything. I can't see chains. I can't see moves. Literally, there's nothing. And so I totally get it. But hopefully it was entertaining for y'all watching. And but yeah, no, I understand you being quiet. I'm just kind of a chatter in between games inherently when I do these races. So nothing against you, man. I got you.
Usually I talk back, but on this one I just wanted to focus because I mean, unfortunately for me, this means I'm out at what is it, 13th?
I think
something like that. It's not something
You got 9th place, Peter. Tied for 9th place.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I kind of wanted to come into the main bracket with a win on someone, but I couldn't get it, unfortunately. So that's why I feel bummed out about it.
Hey, you shouldn't, man. It was close, and yeah, I guess I can understand where you're coming from, but I think everyone was proud of you, and like Card said, your first time coming out when this was a bracket full of a lot of veterans. Like, I just want to thank you for participating, both of you guys, and for what a great series. I wish we could talk more, but since we are running over time, I'm gonna